When you're looking for nutritional advice, dietitians come to mind. But today, more people are turning to AI-powered platforms to figure out what to eat. In fact, the market for AI dietitians has gotten so big, it's expected to exceed $10 billion by 2033. But should we let AI dictate our nutritional habits? And if so, what does this mean for the industry? Clara Lee joins us live to discuss this with us. Clara, tell us, why are people turning to AI to meet their nutritional goals? And at what scale is this trend happening?
Well, prior to AI, when we wanted nutritional advice, people often turned to dietitians or meal subscription plans. But with AI, it's become so easy to generate, say, an entire meal plan with platforms like ChatGPT, for example, or with AI-powered mobile applications. These apps, such as Ollie, what they do is they recommend what you should be eating based on your nutritional goals, what you already have in the fridge, or even what's on sale at the supermarket. So it's all very accessible and convenient and potentially cheaper in the long run. And this has turned into a whole new health tech industry. So like you said, a research firm actually estimated that the global market size for AI dietitians was about $1.5 billion last year. And it's projected to increase to more than $10 billion by 2033. And if you're thinking about which regions this is the most prevalent in, the largest market is currently in North America, but where it's growing the fastest is right here in the Asia Pacific. So the trend at which this is developing is very rapid and wide.
Wow, so it seems this new market is here to stay, especially here in Asia. But I have a question. Isn't there a risk to trusting AI?
Definitely. There are bound to be downsides to everything, right? And first off, let's talk about personalization. When it comes to nutrition, you want something that's tailored for you because there's never a one-size-fits-all solution for anyone. And so users might think they're getting the most tailored version of a plan through AI platforms, but more often than not, it's not the case because these AI models are trained within a certain set of parameters, a limited database of information, and often a certain demographic. So for example, these AI models are usually trained on the Western diet, which means they might not be able to accurately compute the nutritional value of foods from, say, Asian cuisine. And in the long run, if you were to take that advice, we're looking at the homogenization of our diet, which is not great for our food culture. Now, let's talk about the industry, people working in it. Dietitians I've spoken to, they tell me that they're actually not that fazed about the possibility of AI taking over their jobs because they admit that AI is able to take over menial tasks like tracking protein intake, macronutrient intake, but interpreting that data is an entirely different skill set, which is why one of the dietitians I spoke to told me that it's actually a very exciting time to be in the nutritional field, and she thinks it'll be a long, long while before AI replaces the real deal. Let's take a listen.
The other issue when it comes to medical advice and AI is accountability. Healthcare professionals are governed by our respective bodies, whether it's things like the Singapore Nutrition and Dietetics Association, and AI doesn't have that same accountability as well. I do actually think that with more people engaging with AI when it comes to nutrition, they potentially might quite quickly hit the AI's limits, and that might actually prompt them to meet with a dietitian instead.
You're right, these AI models, they're very generic, so they won't include our favorite foods like chicken rice and nasi lemak.
Exactly.
And when it comes to personalization, I was just wondering, isn't it possible for us to say, like, upload our preferences or upload, like, our nutritional parameters and then for the AI to help configure it for us?
Of course you can. So when we talk about context in this case, we're not just talking about preferences, we're also talking about things like your blood work, medical history, history of medical illnesses in your family. And yes, I can upload all this information to the platform, but can I trust the AI to ask the right follow-up questions, which registered medical professionals would do? That's not a guarantee. And even if I did trust the AI to do so, the issue of data privacy comes in, whether the company is going to use that information for any certain reasons. So one of the data privacy analysts I spoke to told me that it's actually not that simple when you're sharing this kind of information. Let's take a listen.
What starts off as just recommending to you what you might have for dinner could become suddenly you're getting advertisements about health supplements that maybe you didn't intend. So what I think users really need to drill down to is, why are they sharing the information? And in particular, why does the company want it? And I'm sure many of these companies would love for you to be healthy. That's not how they make their money. They make their money out of subscriptions and out of advertising.
So Clara, have you used these AI tools to help plan your nutrition, or are you planning to?
I'll admit I've used ChatGPT to generate a meal plan for myself. Not that I followed through with it, but I can show you a snippet of what it looks like. What I asked for was a day-by-day breakdown of what I should be eating Monday through Sunday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I wanted to lose fat and build muscle. And what they gave me was, the gist of it was correct. You know, it's a good starting point to choose whole foods, avoid processed options. So this brings me to the point of nutritional literacy. With AI, it's so easy to be nutritionally literate right now. And on paper, that's a great thing. But if, let's say, there are no robust regulations and standards put in place to safeguard that AI, we might be spreading misinformation, which could be dangerous. So when I spoke to Ms. Johnson, she told me that what we need right now is perhaps a hybrid model to understand that AI can help us in certain aspects, but to also understand its limitations and then bring in a professional when needed. And if you're asking me, would I choose to use it in the future? Well, personally, I think nutrition is a very human thing. And at this point, I'd rather a real person tell me what to eat.
Same here. I'd rather talk to a real nutritionist.
Exactly.
Thank you, Clara, for sharing those insights with us. That was CNA's Clara Lee.